Hey guys, there's no top 10 list today since there was a problem with the computer, but I will be giving you the comic book origins of the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four were Marvel's first superhero team, but have not gained as much popularity as with teams such as the Avengers and the X-Men. But there have been several movies about them, none of them at all have had any success. But since Disney has now bought 20th Century Fox, we could safely say there is a possibility to see the Fantastic Four meet up with the Avengers. And that is something I actually hope for, just not the X-Men. In their first introduction in the comic books, readers were introduced to Reed Richards, a scientist who had been working on a new form of spacecraft. But only thing is, when his invention was completely finished, the government had decided to cut off any payments towards his funding. Not willing to give up that easily, Reed Richards decided to test it out himself. He invited a few friends to go along with him, including his girlfriend Sue Storm, her brother Johnny Storm, and his old college roommate turned government test pilot Ben Grimm. The problem was the military had surrounded the entire place and put it onto lockdown. Since they weren't giving up, though, they would sneak in later on and the same night so that they could commence their experiment. As they shipped off into space, they were hit by cosmic rays which made them all too ill to continue the experiment. So they had to make an immediate crash landing to Earth. They all survived the crash, only to find out that their bodies had been changed in a dramatic way. Reed had gained the ability of super elasticity, so he was able to morph his body into any shape. Sue found herself able to turn invisible and would later on adapt the ability to make force fields. Ben managed to gain the ability to have his skin completely transformed into orange rock, which also increased his strength, but it gave him a monstrous-like appearance. And finally, Johnny Storm gained the ability of pyrokinesis, which is the ability to control fire. He also gained the ability of flight. Reed discovered that their bodies had changed, so he devised the idea that they should use their newly found abilities to benefit mankind. Setting up a lab in the Baxter Building skyscraper, Reed would use his knowledge of science to help the team learn how to control and use their powers more efficiently. While they did this, Reed would also be working on new inventions, such as their iconic uniforms that they wear, which benefited them greatly, as depending on their ability, their suit would adapt and fit them perfectly. But he also invented the Fantastica, a ship that would split apart into four pieces, so that anyone could fly it themselves. But even though they are Marvel's first team, they have not gained such great popularity. They have also gained a handful of enemies, including their greatest enemy, Doctor Doom, and will come across the godlike being Galactus and his herald, the Silver Surfer. But hopefully we see them in the MCU as part of the next phase. I really think that John Krasinski, who is in A Quiet Place, could play Reed Richards, and Emily Blunt, who is also in A Quiet Place, should play Sue Storm. I'm not sure about The Thing or Human Torch yet. Well, guys, that's it for the Fantastic Four. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment what you think down below. And I'll come back tomorrow to give you another video, which might be a top 10 list. See you guys.